That was Paying My Way by the Dropkick Murphys, and you are listening to Radio Free America, the best tunes to fight the power.
On my 7th birthday last year, we had candles on my cake and all over the kitchen. I didn't really care, especially when my daddy told me that the power was out because of an accident. I stopped believing him after a few days, and even more after he said I didn't have to go to school the next couple of days. But I still didn't care. I got to stay home and play all day. My mommy and daddy didn't have to go to work either. My TV couldn't turn on, so I couldn't play video games. But my dad had a radio. You had to wind it up, so we listened to that a lot. He only let me listen to the music stations, making me go away once the news turned on. I listened sometimes anyways, but I didn't understand. Somebody crashed into the supermarket and they didn't have a job anymore. I don't know. After a while, Mommy said I didn't have to go to school at all anymore, and we kept having campouts inside with the fireplace. It was really fun at first because we all slept in the living room together in sleeping bags. It wasn't so fun when we ran out of s'mores stuff, though. My daddy kept making us baked potatoes. I like baked potatoes, but we didn't have any butter or ketchup, so they were super gross. My dad always made me finish my plate, though. I love my daddy, and I know he loved me too, because he always made me finish my plate, no matter how disgusting it was. It would take a lot of trades to get me a baked potato now, and that's how I know he loved me, because he knew that food was important then, and it's even more important now. Mommy cried when Daddy borrowed our neighbor's axe to smash up the kitchen table. It was Grandma's table, and she gave it to Mommy and Daddy when they got married. He said we needed to smash it and all of the rest of the furniture in the house because it was getting too cold. She was mad at him for a long time. A long, long time. So mad that she didn't forgive him until I started to get sick. I got really, really sick. I kept feeling tired all of the time. Mom said I was just being a sleepyhead. But I saw her crying sometimes when she thought I was sleeping. She cried almost every day, but no matter how much she cried, my daddy always hugged her. He always said, "Everything is fine, and it will be okay." I believe him then too, just like when the power went out. But my belly hurt so bad. It was hard too. It looked so big and puffy, but I couldn't be fat. Getting fat means you eat too much McDonald's and stuff. And I didn't have McDonald's since before my birthday. We had run out of potatoes by then, and I was happy at first. I was tired of plain potatoes. I was even happier when the neighbor gave us some ketchup packets for some of Grandma's broken table. Daddy mixed a packet in a bowl of hot water and made ketchup soup for me and Mommy. She cried again, but she ate it anyways. I don't know why she was crying, because it was great. It was so warm and salty. It made me feel warm from the inside out. We had ketchup soup for a while. Sometimes Daddy mixed in grass from the yard, or sometimes they cut up hot dog, or at least it looked like hot dog. It wasn't so tasty, but I remembered us all sitting around the fire stirring our soup around to try and find four-leaf clovers. Mommy didn't cry when we played that game, so we played it a lot. My belly kept hurting more, kept getting bigger and bigger. I was sleeping almost all of the time. Mommy always called me sleepyhead when she woke me up to eat. She looked so skinny. I could see her cheeks sticking out. And Daddy made her a belt from rope to keep her pants up. He looked even worse than her. But I guess that's because he always had a little extra poof than her. So he really looked bad now that he looked like a skeleton. One night, I remember waking up to Mommy and Daddy yelling a lot. They must have yelled really loudly because I only got up anymore when it was time to eat. I was still kind of asleep, but Mommy wasn't crying anymore. She sounded really, really mad. Dad didn't sound mad, though. He sounded sad. Like the time we had to take Hunter to the vet's office to make him sleep. I remember hearing Daddy say, "It's the only way," right before I closed my eyes again. When I woke back up again, Mommy was shaking me awake. "Wake up, sleepyhead!" She was acting weird. Weird like when she knows you did something wrong. She knows, but she's waiting for you to tell her first. I stopped noticing her when I smelled the soup, but it wasn't soup really. Ketchup soup was always so watery that we didn't even use spoons to eat it, which was cool at first because Dad let us drink it right out of the bowl. He was standing on the other side of the fire from me and Mommy with a steaming bowl in his hands. It's a good thing this wasn't ketchup soup, or Dad would have spilled it all over. He was shaking so bad. He must have just gotten to the fire, so he was probably cold. He didn't spill it because it wasn't soup. It was stew. It had meat in it that was juicy and brown like roast beef. I saw grass, which I was used to, and even little cubes of carrots. The bowl of it he handed to Mommy smelled so good. I wanted to wolf it down right away. My stomach hurt just thinking about it. But Mommy fed me like a baby, really slowly spooning me little bits of it. It tasted even better than it smelled. I never liked roast beef, and anytime we went to Arby's for food, I got chicken fingers. But this roast beef was better than any chicken fingers I have ever eaten. It was so sweet and salty. It felt so smooth running into your mouth and down your throat when you swallowed it. Mommy slowly fed me a bowl of the sweet stew before I went back to sleep. I expected Mommy to cry. She always cried back then. But this time, she didn't. She just sat there with the empty bowl in her hands while she rocked me back and forth, just staring into the fire. The next day, we had stew again, and the next day, and the next. I never saw Mommy or Daddy eat it, but I was still sleeping a lot, so I never really noticed until after it was all gone. My belly didn't feel so bad, and it was starting to shrink to the way it used to look. That roast beef had medicine in it, I think. Mommy must have put it in. I don't know where they got medicine from, because she said it was all gone. But Daddy must have traded the neighbor for some and put it in the soup. The neighbor and Daddy did trades all the time for stuff, but once I got better and stopped sleeping so much, I noticed that they didn't trade anymore. Maybe we didn't need to trade anymore, since I was better now, because I never saw our neighbor after Daddy made us that roast beef and medicine stew. Go. My Mommy and Daddy are gone now. I woke up one day and they were just gone. I'm not sure where, or maybe I don't know. But I know that they lived or loved me still because I never saw them eat any of that stew. That made me feel better. They were so skinny, but they never ate a single spoonful. I see lots of stew in the market, and I trade for it sometimes, but I can never get the same sweet and salty flavor I got from my dad's. I know he loved me extra a lot because I do trades too now, and I know how much he would have to trade anyway for fresh meat, and especially for medicine. I think maybe they had to go away because of that trade, because once I got better, they left one day, and they never came back. I think maybe they went to go to work, the way the TAU makes grown-ups work for ration cards, only instead of rations, they got the stuff to make the stew. That sweet and salty, delicious stew.
Thanks for listening to this Radio Free America program. These stories may not be easy to listen to, but we hope that they inspire anyone east of the Mississippi or west of the Rockies to stand up and fight against the TAU to reclaim our once proud land. Special shout out to the folks already fighting the good fight. This next one's for you.